Hey my guys, welcome to the channel. Today we are doing a short ditch video talking about one of the most common questions I get asked on streams by people who first come to see what I'm doing, which is the game dying? Is Galaxy of Heroes going anywhere? Now, this is followed by the second question, which is how long is it going to be around for? But Galaxy of Heroes is not going anywhere anytime fast. The game is not dying per se. Now, the game is going to a new phase, and you can see that in the way that they've been releasing things, because we've gone from sort of erratic-ish kind of stuff to the past 2 years of very consistent updates to the game. Because if you look at last year, we had Star Color in the kind of springtime, then you had Grand Inquisitor, then you had the Profanity, then you had Jabba the Hutt, and this led into the Create Dragon Raid, so a new raid, and then this year led into Dr. Aphra, led into Cal Kestis, led into the Leviathan, and is now leading to Gialea, which is going to be in the new raid, the Endor raid. And you could already see in the way that it's set up, they've changed from somewhat erratic doing whatever scheduling to a really consistent, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do each time, and we're not going to innovate anything super cool from this point. It's going to be iterations of what we've done already. So the different question is, will you enjoy it? But in terms of purely is the game going anywhere? No, it's not. And then this is kind of backed up by, I guess, three things. First is they recently did a UI update to the game as part of this, maybe like a year ago, and the doubling the gear and changing how the gearing was working, and datacrons were added, and omicrons have been added, and these things are all UI changes or behind the scenes changes that will last for many years. So they've designed it and set it up to be something that's not going to go anywhere for a while. The second thing is TV series. And you can see with the Ahsoka TV series out now, the Bad Batch Season 3 planned, another series of Obi-Wan Kenobi may be coming out, another series of Andor possibly being floated as well, and of course a subsequent Season 4 of The Mandalorian, possibly mixed in with Ahsoka, Great Grand Admiral. Who knows how it's exactly going to go right? I don't know how they're going to do it, but you can see that they have a plan already for series going forwards, and we have a Rogue One film possibly, Rogue Squadron film coming possibly, as well as a new trilogy of films based on Rey possibly coming out. The Acolyte 2, of course, based on the Old Republic type time period, has been floated. So there's a lot of like media stuff consistently going to be coming out over the next few years at least. So Star Wars has a coherent publishing strategy going on. The third thing is, and this is a really sad one in many ways, but EA, the games company, is based around money, right? Money is the big thing. And as you can see, so Sensor Tower is one of the two kind of websites that track this kind of thing quite well. Now, to be clear, the two sites track slightly different things because, of course, you can install the game on iOS, on Android, on Google. I'm sure there are some other ways of doing it too. So it's not quite exactly competitive from one site to another site, but you can look internally, so different games within the same thing. So if we look here, in the past month, we've had 200,000 people download the game worldwide. 200,000. That's pretty good going. In terms of revenue, $3 million in the past month. That is good going. So it's making, $35 to $40 million a year. And this is, I would argue, a lowish month. I mean, the Leviathan came out, but people are not going to spend. When Gialea comes out, this is going to spike up massively because people are spending stuff to try and get her quickly. It's probably going to be more like 5 million, and it's 23rd. So I mean, is it the best game? No, it's an 8-year-old game, right? 8 years old this November. Is it the best game on the market? No. Is it a game that's in a specific pattern? Yes, it is. Is it a sustainable pattern? Yeah, it is actually, because it's making a lot of money. And honestly, the updates they need to do are quite efficient now that they've reworked how they're doing everything. So $35 to $40 million a year, that's pretty all right. Now, if you compare it to Marvel Strike Force. So Marvel Strike Force is the equivalent game for, switch to the United States, to Galaxy of Heroes. More downloads than last month, for sure, but less money. So it makes less money than Galaxy of Heroes. And I would argue that given that it's a newer game, given that Marvel in many ways has a much bigger crowd base because you've got everyone from the X-Men to the Fantastic Four to female superheroes to male superheroes to the Avengers to Inhumans to space characters like Guardians of the Galaxy to villains who are amazing like Thanos. Right? They have so much more to pull on from all the comics, from all the things, even horror stuff like Werewolf by Night, and yet they're making less money. Now, you could argue that's the way the games run, and I'm not going to get into how Marvel Strike Forces run, but if you compare the two games directly, Galaxy of Heroes spent all the games making more money per month. It also has, and you can see here, a much bigger install base, significantly bigger install base. Now, it is older by 3 years, but it feels like it's in a much more secure footing than Marvel Strike Force is in that respect. Now, we can look at different websites that track different different things slightly, and $5 million it says in the last. They're looking at a different install base. So $5 million they think, of which 69% is from the United States. In the last 30 days, $200,000, which is pretty good going. 200,000. Lifetime, more than 50 million, like it's on the other side, more than 50 million. Again, compared to our Strike Force, they argued that we made more than 2 million in the past 30 days. 500,000, I think, more downloads, but that's because it's based in India. It seems like Marvel Strike Force is a big game in India compared to Galaxy Heroes for whatever reason, which is cool and all. But given that the games are very similar, I mean, Marvel Strike Force is making less money, and seems to currently be in a bit of a rut, whereas Galaxy of Heroes seems to be in a very efficient, this is how we're doing things, this is where we're going. Now, we could compare, of course, to, I'll do this one here, Raid Shadow Legends. Of course, everyone has heard of Raid Shadow Legends. We've all seen the adverts, and the comparison is amazing because a non-IP generating thing is making more than 10 million per month, which is crazy. So compared to Galaxy Heroes, 2 or 3 million or 4 million, compared to Marvel Strike Force, 2 or 3 million, 10 million. I mean, you can see they've all made about the same over their lifetime, right? Over $500 million. I think Galaxy Heroes has broken $1 billion, to be honest, quite frankly. So, I mean, you could argue compared to Raid Shadow Legends, it is a much more limited game, but this is perhaps the biggest game in the market of all when it comes to this style of game. So is Galaxy of Heroes going anywhere? To cut a huge long story short, no. We've got a set schedule of releases and things. We've got a bunch of characters that people are still interested in. After GL Leia, I'm sure we're going to see GL Mando. We could see a GL of Darth Revan, or Revan Reborn, as he's known in the Old Republic, where we could see a GL really easily of Grand Admiral Thrawn with Ahsoka in the TV series. So, is there stuff coming for Galaxy Heroes? Yes, there is. There's more raids. Death Star raid, a raid on. You can imagine a Naboo raid based on Episode 1, because Episode 1 is going to come soon to like 25 years, right? I'm pretty sure it already is 25 years and I've missed it already. But, you could imagine raids based on things that haven't been done yet. There's plenty of things to be done. Secondly, TV series are already coming out, and you can imagine stuff about the Acolyte coming out. You can imagine more Bad Batch characters coming out. You can imagine more Mandalorian-based characters coming out easily, right? They've already mentioned, for example, there's going to be a new Moff Gideon coming out after GL Leia comes out, and he'll probably be more like the whole Iron Man style Moff Gideon. And the other thing is, the game keeps making money. The game is making $2 million, $3 million, $4 million a month in this mode here. Now, could it make more if it was a bit better? Yeah, it could. But is $3 or $4 million plenty of money? I would say so. Right. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. We try to do more different things on the channel about both Galaxy of Heroes, but games in general. Let me know down in the comments below if you think the game's going to be around for. I would estimate 3 or 4 years from now, maybe even 5 if we're lucky. So we still got a while yet. Plenty of things left to enjoy and to experience in the game. But have a really, really great day, guys.